All right, everybody, give me 1 second as I get this camera up into the cradle. Get this maybe a little straighter. How's that looking? They're looking all right, other than the whole shaking. All right, what are we talking about here? Now, if you didn't watch my other video, go check it out. We do the Ganzo, I think it's a 739 versus the PM2. Is the PM2 from Spyderco really worth 8 times the cost if you just want that style of a knife, but maybe with a different lock and materials? I don't know. Give it a watch. See what you think. All right, what are we going to look at right now? Well, I'm a huge fan of the Bugout. The Bugout is one of the best lightweight EDCs out there while giving you quality steel, very lightweight, thin, carryable everywhere, while still being a fairly hard-use knife for what it is. Some other knives in that category, of course, a Spyderco Delica. That's got to be in that list, right? Similar size-ish, similar weight, a little bit cheaper, $95 versus $145. And then on the cheaper end, you've got knives like the CJRP Pyrite. Only tiny bit heavier, but still in that same size category. Has that nice fidget factor, nice simple form factor. And now we're going to look at one from Sog. I haven't had a Sog knife in a while. Let's go ahead and take a look at that and see what we like. See if we don't like it. I'm sure we're going to like it. But will we like it as much as we like a Bugout? So this is the Altair XR. This is 1.85 ounces. This one's claiming to be 1.9. The blade is just a tiny bit smaller, but it's going to be similar dimensions, similar size, similar thinness, and all of that. So this comes with a nice drop point titanium nitride coated. It's a cryo-treated 154 cm blade. It is made in Taiwan, not in the. Wow, that's a nice action right out of the box. Well, that's on ball bearings, unlike the Bugout, which is really loose and all that, but that's on bronze washers. So that should have, yeah, no blade play. That's nice. Yeah, uses a similar lock, but it's super lightweight, nice and flicky and fidgety. Let's do the quick dimensions. We mentioned 1.9 ounces. We are looking at a 3 1/4 inch-ish blade with about a 3 1/8 cutting edge, and it's about 7 1/8 overall. Compared to the Bugout, has just a tiny bit longer blade, but the cutting edge is the same, roughly. You got a little bit of a, not a finger choil, but you got a nice little cutout there to kind of lock your fingers in. The jimping's right there. No real ability to choke up on it. So this is going to be in between the size of the Bugout and the mini Bugout. It's just a tiny bit smaller than the Bugout. But the thinness, it's a tiny bit thinner. It has a very deep carry pocket clip, which is nice. That goes all the way past, even a little bit more so than the Bugout. This is going to be size-wise probably a little bit closer to the Delica. But nice snappy action, nice size. I'm really digging it so far. It's got G10 handles. It does have a very well milled out and lightened steel liners underneath. So you get a little bit of flex, but not any more than you get with just the Grivery here. They're roughly about the same level of thickness, or stiffness. This might be 5% stiffer. There's a difference. It's tiny. It's not much at all. But nice action. That's a nice little knife. If you want something really discreet, there's a couple different colors. There's one that's bluish. I'll say the difference is here you've got, these are metal as far as your thumb studs are brass, and you got the metal to unlock it. Here they're more like plastic pieces, I guess over metal maybe. But the lock itself is steel. They say that this lock will handle up to 1,500 pounds of pressure. Sounds a little bit optimistic for a knife this size, but hey, you never know. Edge seems decently sharp out of the box. Let's go ahead and, yeah. Yeah, decently sharp out of the box. Will it do a push test? Nah, not quite. Well, maybe it does there. Yeah, it depends on where you're on the bed, on the edge. I might just need to run it across a strop and deburr it. So do I, here's the question. I've already got knives like the Delica, which is one of my most common EDC knives I carry. That's usually in my pocket. I mean, the three most common knives these days are going to be a PM3 lightweight, the Delica, or a Bugout. Would I put it in that category? Quality, size, frame, versatility? Yeah, I would say this is going to be on the lighter end, like the Delica. It's got a much thinner blade. It's got that little bit of flex to it. I wouldn't consider it a hard use knife, but for most EDC tasks, this I would say is maybe just a little bit beefed up. It's just a bigger blade, a little bit thicker steel, little less blade flex. And then, then if I want to still stay small and light, but keep it really compact, but be able to do much harder, chores with it, the PM3 comes to mind. That's probably going to be my go-to. But overall, that's a nice little blade. I like that a lot. It's nice and clean. There is no lanyard hole. I'm fine with that. I don't use a lanyard. And I like the aesthetic. I guess the way that this goes together, there's a set screw inside that somehow you got a screw here at the pivot, obviously. The rest is held together by a screw in there, and then something pops out, and I'm not sure exactly how all that works. I think when you take that screw out and you take this off, then it lets this piece come off, and then once the screw inside is holding on the outer sleeves, and then it's held together by screws going through in the metal liners. But nice little knife. Nice little knife. I'm not sure how often I'll carry it. I just wanted something different and always looking for like the next best Bugout alternative. I would absolutely say it is a comparable Bugout alternative, maybe a little closer to the Bugout Mini, but it is super nice and thin, and that's a cool little knife. It's decently sharp out of the box. Sog seems to have a good heat treat, and their cryo-treated 154 cm is a perfectly decent mid-range EDC steel that should stand up to, decent amount of abuse. Just know that when you have a knife this small and light, you're never going to be wailing on it. It's only going to give you so much hard use out of it. It's really not designed for that. If you want something a bit more robust, start looking at PM3s and PM2s and something like that. But when you need something very tiny, very small clip, very discreet, in your pocket, takes up no space, and you just need a quick blade for normal tasks, I would absolutely put that up in a category. I would say as far as fit and finish and how it feels, the Bugout maybe feels a scooch better. It feels more on par with something like the Spyderco Delica. This one's got VG10 steel, but it's just FRN handles and a simple lock back. I did add the titanium pocket clip. But all in all, nice little knife. Definitely like it. I would definitely give this a thumbs up. If you want to save a few bucks, save 25, 30 bucks off the price of the Bugout, and you just don't want to be like everybody else that's got the Bugout. You want to be a little different maybe. Give the Altair XR a look from our friends over at Sog. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later.